next to him. I asked the president and the chief executive of the National Association of Manufacturers, Timmons, when you look at today's meeting, what did he hope to achieve?
Well, to talk about what will help the manufacturing economy grow, the best thing about that meeting, it was like a meeting of the board of directors of the NAM. Our chairman, Dave Farr from Emerson, was there. Our former chair, Doug Oberhelman, with Caterpillar, was there. I had a ton of board members and a ton of members in there, and they were delivering the message about how we need to be competitive in this country.
But what is that message of competitiveness that they took?
Yeah, it's three very simple things. Tax reform, regulatory reform, infrastructure investment. We get those three things right, we get investment right in this country, and we grow jobs.
But you're pushing at an open door with all three. The president was elected on deregulation, and that's already started. Tax reform, he said this morning, is going to be coming up in the next month or so.
And he talked about that
and
in
infrastructure.
the campaign.
Right, so why do you need to turn up and talk about it?
Well, look, I think we've got to make sure that Congress does its job too, right? I mean, he can't do all of this alone. I'm sure he, like every president, would like to, but the fact is he's got to have Congress, he's got to have the American people going in the same direction on all of these issues.
The question of manufacturing and bringing jobs back, the experts say there are some jobs that just aren't coming back. That it's a nonsense to suggest that the US is going to make certain goods that it may have made 50 years ago or 60 years ago. It's a high value, higher cost, higher production economy.
So any of those experts, so-called experts, who say that a certain type of job isn't worth having, I completely reject.
That's not what they say. They don't say it's not worth having. Well, they say it's uneconomic.
Then why do they think it doesn't come back?
Uneconomic to bring those jobs back.
It absolutely is economical if we drive down the cost of doing business in this country. And those three things will help do that. If we get our tax system in the right place, we're paying the highest tax rate in the world right now. Our regulatory burden, Richard, just to give you an example, $35,000. If you're a small manufacturer right now, $35,000 per employee per year in compliance costs. That is not sustainable. We've got to bring that down. And we bring those costs down, we can bring investment and jobs back to this country and create more.
So to the argument, and you know this better than anybody, that says, fine, you'll bring manufacturing back, but those jobs won't come back because it's automation that will kill the jobs.
That's a really good question. And here's what I have seen in all my time at the NAM, but I'll tell you yesterday, we started our 2017 State of Manufacturing Tour in Austin, Texas. And what I saw was this amazing amount of technology that's being utilized, creating robotics, creating other technological advances in automation. And that's where the jobs of the future are. They're different. They're not the same.
Right, so you're agreeing with me that you're not necessarily, the manufacturing jobs in the United States are not necessarily in large scale going to be apparel or shoes or lower value goods. It's going to be in creating the robotics.
So those types of products, the production of those could well be automated as well, right? And
but if you automate, the jobs don't arrive. If you automate,
somebody's got to build these robots. Right? I saw them yesterday. I saw thousands of people at a facility, at an IT innovation center, and these companies are thirsty to get those folks into their facilities.
There are 12 million...
It's different training requirements, obviously.
12 million manufacturing jobs.
Right. So we support about 18 million total jobs in this country.
What do you want to see manufacturing get to?
So well, gosh, sky's the limit. Give me any number, I'm happy to take it. But I think what we have to understand is that modern manufacturing does require, and to your point, and you're exactly right, modern manufacturing requires a different type of skill for the future. You've got to have upskilled workers for these upscale jobs. And that is part of our challenge, training the workers of today with new skills, training the workers of tomorrow.